Part 7 of episode 133, United States Championship match. Sheamus defends his title against Cesaro. There's kind of a split crowd here going on. A lot of people think that this is going to end up being when Cesaro wins the title and Sheamus was just some kind of a transitional champion. I myself think that Sheamus is going to win here. And that's because not only has Cesaro looked like the better person for the most part over the past couple of interactions that they've had, but I think it's too soon for Sheamus to lose the title. And I don't think that Cesaro is going to win the United States title, period. I think they're going to keep him in the upper mid card kind of scene, but he isn't going to win any kind of a championship. And he is somebody who could possibly win Money in the Bank instead. So I'm going with Sheamus here. I think that this could end up being a really good match. It depends on whether they're going to keep a brawling style or if they're going to try to go for just doing a couple spots here and there. And it also kind of depends on what the crowd's doing, because if the crowd at this point has already been shot down from the booking of where they place other matches on the card, that could hurt this a lot. If they put this after Rusev and maybe after like the Daniel Bryan thing that we're going to talk about a little bit later, that could really hurt this, and this could end up getting the brunt of that poor response. But if they put it in a good spot of the night, then the crowd should be hot for Cesaro at the very least, and it could be cool. So I'm thinking it could be a good match. Might not be. Who knows? But I'm 100% going with Sheamus retaining here. Peyton?
Looking at the long term, I think the best thing they could do would be to have Sheamus win. One, because if you want to make Cesaro a babyface, do that on this night. Have Cesaro be the person who's chasing the title going forward. And the way to get Cesaro into that babyface role, turn Sheamus heel as well with a double turn, and have him align with Paul Heyman. Now, I don't really think necessarily that Sheamus and Paul Heyman are a perfect match, but Paul Heyman's a master at this. He can make that work, so I'm not too worried about it. When people see Sheamus aligning himself with Paul Heyman on the night, Cesaro will gain sympathy. People will get further behind him. They'll be much further behind him chasing that title, and maybe he doesn't need to win it in the end. Maybe he can go on and get a Money in the Bank or whatever. But that doesn't happen, then I would expect to see Cesaro just win it and just go on. Sheamus gets forgotten. Maybe we'll see a unification between him and the Intercontinental. I don't know what the long-term plans for that are. But if they're going to keep these two titles, have Cesaro chase it. Don't give it to him on his first night going after it.
What do you think about the idea that people were throwing out before of Sheamus joining Evolution if Batista leaves, as opposed to joining with Paul Heyman?
No, if Batista leaves, just end that angle.
Just entirely?
Yeah, just end it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
Miguel?
Sheamus would look fucking goofy in a suit.
That's true. Well, he'd have to have that stupid hat on, too. Miguel, your thoughts on U.S. title match?
I don't think there's any real worry of this matchup floundering. I think Cesaro's a solid worker. I think Sheamus really puts his all into these matches. I think these two guys are probably going to have the match of the night, in my opinion. I really do see a lot of potential of them to really steal the show. In terms of the outcome, I do see a long-term thing for both of these guys. So I would not have Cesaro win the belt yet. And I do agree that this would be the perfect opportunity to start a double turn, because the fans just clearly are not behind Sheamus. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't understand where he became like the number 2/3 babyface for the company. He's just kind of just been there, you know. His stuff just, he hasn't really done anything to warrant that except, you know, be friends with the right people backstage. So I think he works much better as a heel. I think Cesaro is just getting way too over, but, you know, we've seen how WWE treats guys that are over that maybe they didn't have plans to get over in that way. So who knows what they're going to do with these two, but I'm going to take the safe bet and go with Sheamus, and I'm going to give this a match of the night candidate.
Sean?
Sheamus wins. And, yeah, Cesaro needs to get rid of those sirens in his fucking theme.
Oh, please.
Yes. He needs to get an
damn.
entirely new theme. I actually think that theme could work with other people. It's just not Cesaro's.
He needs to get the noise my desk makes.
Or the noise Alicia Fox makes.
Can we just do a matchup where it's him versus Swagger? Winner gets the rights to that song, because I think he'd do better with We the People than Swagger does.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, why
I
not?
might be okay with that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't like this whole Paul Heyman angle as well. I don't think Cesaro needs Paul Heyman. I don't see. It just doesn't fit for me. It just doesn't fit right, you know?
You don't think it's going to be worth it to get Cesaro versus Brock Lesnar?
No. If that happens, then crack on with it. But I think, you know.
I don't really have much faith that that's where they're going with it. Like,
Yeah,
I think that they're just doing this just to keep Paul Heyman in the limelight. I think once Lesnar comes back, he's going to do something not even related to Cesaro. I think they're just going to drop that whole bit.
Yeah, I would see
I think
Lesnar
it's
challenging for the title. He just defeated the Undertaker's undefeated streak. He's not going to fight the United States champion Cesaro or anything like that.
What if
Oh,
he
I
fights
never-
Roman Reigns?
Ooh.
Maybe later. I don't know if Roman Reigns is going to be in that position by that time.
That's a WrestleMania matchup right there.
Unless,
honestly.
of course, Roman Reigns is the WWE champion at that point, which could happen.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
This Cesaro thing is going the whole Curtis Axel route for me.
That bad?
That's the way I see it, yeah.
Ooh. That sucks because Curtis
Yeah.
Axel, that did not work out.
He's not wrong. There isn't too much separating it from really. I mean, they both grabbed a they both had some success at the start, but they haven't really done much, and they're kind of just got lost in the shuffle.
Well, what do you think about Cesaro and Sheamus? There we go.
This is actually one of the hardest matches to pick on the night. Part of me thinks they're just going to give Cesaro the US title and have him win Money in the Bank, much like how The Miz was champion but Money in the Bank at the same time. So it's not like they've not done that before. I really don't know what they're going to do because it seems too early to take the belt off Sheamus. And I don't think they're going to turn Sheamus heel against Cesaro. I don't see a double turn happening. So I expect Sheamus' heel turn further down the line and probably Cesaro capturing the US title. Match should be okay.
Well, I can't think of anybody else other than Cesaro that they would end up putting with Brock Lesnar down the line. And if they don't do it with Roman Reigns, maybe that would end up being Sheamus, actually. Maybe Sheamus is just somebody that they can drop, he can lose to Brock Lesnar at like SummerSlam or something, just for something to do. I don't know. That's going to be tough, though. It could possibly end up being a double turn. They could turn him down the line. They could have a title switch here. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. So make sure you guys tell us what you think is going to end up happening in those comments below. We're going to roll along here, part 8, and talk about some other different side stuff that's going on with Payback.